Welcome to We Don't Have Cookies, where possibilities are possible. Here's your host, Jason Marshall.
Hey everybody, thanks for downloading the show. You may have seen today's guest on Season 9 of NBC's Last Comic Standing as one of the top 5 finalists, or on Fox's Screen Queens, or if you live in the Los Angeles or Minneapolis area, you may have seen her in the candy aisle at a gas station and thought, who is that lady buying all that candy? I'll tell you who she is. It's the one and only Andy Erikson. How you doing?
I'm doing good. You totally did your research with the candy aisle. Yeah.
Well, it's great to have you on today. I'm sure there's a funny story behind this. So my first question is, how did you get the last name Erikson?
Oh my gosh. My parents gave it to me. I don't. That's so funny.
I knew it would be funny. That's why I had to ask. You did not disappoint.
I was like, I've never been asked that. I will say, if anyone here has kids or whatever, or you're pregnant, when you have kids, you fill out like a name form, and you can actually give the kid whatever name you want. Like, it doesn't have to be like your last name. Like, you can pick any name. So you have to be kind of careful, because there's a story about my dad when he was born. My grandma went in to fill out his birth certificate and fill out her name, because they didn't do it like that day. They had to like go in like the next day and then go into like town hall or something. I guess she'd been drinking, or I don't know, was maybe just tired. I don't know the full story. But she went in and his name was supposed to be Henry Joel Erikson. And she got it backwards and named him Joel Henry Erikson, which, whatever, you made a mistake. You got the names backwards. I guess it's not that big of a deal. But it is kind of a big deal, because he already had a cousin named Joel Henry Erikson. So there were 2 Joel Henrys in the family, because my grandma got the name wrong. So that was kind of funny.
Well, I have a cat, and recently I saw a post that you made of your cat in a drink carrier on Instagram. In the caption, it said, so much easier to transport your cat with one of these cat trays. Were you serious?
Oh my gosh, no. Like, she was just kind of standing in it, but if we would have tried to lift it up, she would have just climbed right up onto us. but I mean, I guess those carriers are nice for her paws. They fit right in, and she loved it. So you got to try new things.
I was kind of hoping you were serious. I saved a drink carrier from my last trip to Wendy's, and I was just kind of hoping that would work out.
I like that you can now just call them cat carriers when you're at like, oh, can we get a cat carrier, please? What? For our drinks, a cat carrier?
I loved you on Last Comic Standing. I watched almost every season, so I have a lot of questions. I know that you can't speak for every season, but while you were on, did they ever have any dangerous animals like lions or wolverines backstage?
Oh, gosh. No, mostly like a habitat for humans is what they created.
Okay.
No animals, but they tried to make it feel like a home, even though it was like this makeshift room in like a giant warehouse. But like inside, it was just kind of like a zoo for humans.
Why do you think there were no dangerous animals backstage? Because it's a stupid idea?
I mean, if they really wanted to amp up the drama backstage, they definitely could have, but it would have been weird because they weren't filming too much back there. So it would have been weird to have us do a bunch of stuff with no cameras and be like, gosh, you guys won't believe that.
I just think it would add another dynamic to the Last Comic Standing.
They kind of went away from challenges and went more to just straight stand up, but maybe we'll be headed back that way. So, it's cyclical. Less stand up, more danger.
I do have a serious question about Last Comic Standing.
I don't believe you.
Roseanne Barnold was one of the celebrity judges on your season, and you've been very outspoken about misogyny in comedy. But Roseanne often seemed to mansplain things to male contestants. Are you as against misogyny as you are misogyny?
Oh my gosh. It was just like a whirlwind of everything. I don't know. I feel like the judge's job is just so weird. Norm and Roseanne were both very interesting judges. Keenan Ivory Wayans is kind of the solid one who gave pretty good feedback. But I mean, I don't really know much about misogynism, but I suppose I want everyone to feel welcome, and I don't want anyone to be attacked. I'm for equality for everyone. I'll defend anyone who is being attacked.
I will say, watching your season, it was kind of weird to see Roseanne and Norm MacDonald. They both seemed like it just kind of depended on what day it was when you went up in front of them. Did you ever get that kind of a sense?
They edited out so much too. Like, the judges were going and talking, and you could tell they loved giving advice and they loved talking. But it's like they didn't have time, so much of it is edited down. And they just were kind of doing their thing. It was like, I know the producers wanted to keep it mostly supportive. Like, they didn't want anyone on the show to come away looking bad. Because people don't need that. People love good comedy. You just show good comedy. We don't need to see them getting taken down, or like ripped apart. So they tried to do that, but every once in a while they showed some interesting moments and stuff like that. But it was just it's just a bizarre, weird thing. I don't think comedy is meant to be judged. So everyone's just in a weird, uncomfortable spot. They put a camera and a microphone in front of me and say, hey, judge this person. And it's like, you can't say the same thing every time. And you have to be insightful and you have to be interesting and funny. So it's just like, I think everyone's just kind of doing their best.
I do agree with you there. I think it's a very hard thing to do to judge comedy. It's almost too difficult to even try, but somehow they made a show out of it and it went 9 seasons. So
yeah, I mean, people love that show. I mean, I wish they'd bring it back, they do other stuff. I got some good feedback. I still got, like Norm said, I shouldn't do political jokes. I got told some stuff, but it's like anything. You do whatever you want, and you don't have to listen to the judges. Like, I do political stuff.
You work as a clean comic. For those that don't know, that means you don't do a lot of swearing or crass humor, but you're going to school for your MFA, which stands for Motherfucking Associates. Why do you do clean Why do you do clean comedy, but went the opposite way in your education?
Well, I want to be a motherfucking screenwriter. And I want to make some motherfucking cold hard cash. And I want a motherfucking house with 10 motherfucking cats. And it's all about the motherfucking cash, really, is what it comes down to. But you know how you make motherfucking cash? You make mother freaking fun times for college students.
I don't think I've ever heard you curse before. That cracked me up.
Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, I try not to curse, but what's interesting is, like, I do have this persona on stage where I'm like silly and all this, but I actually do a lot of like roast and stuff where I do dark, dirty stuff, but just not everyone sees that. But I did the roast of Gary Busey. Like, I got pretty dirty and stuff. I did that. You'd be surprised. Most people are different than they appear on TV sometimes.
Well, speaking of TV, my daughter loved you on Scream Queens.
Cool.
One of the other cast members on Scream Queens was Billie Lorde, who has been on American Horror Story and Star Wars. While you were on Scream Queens, did she ever have an assistant? And if she did that person refer to what they did as doing the Lord's work?
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I didn't see an assistant on set, but I will say Billie Lorde, she's doing the Lord's work. She is an absolute delight. She was so nice, so sweet. I was on set. I was new to the set. Me and another girl, Riley Weinstein, we were new. Like, we were going to be recurring cast members, so they kind of were nice to us. But she showed us around, and at one point, like, and she didn't have to. They can just ignore us. A lot of times the stars, they do their own thing. They kind of keep to themselves. They work on their stuff. But she came out, talked to us, hung out with us. At one point, took us to this little closet, opened the closet, and it was just full of trinkets and candy and just a magical cupboard of awesomeness. And she was like, take whatever you want. It doesn't matter. And we were like, what? She's like, yeah, just grab stuff. I grab stuff all the time. We're like, oh my gosh, Billie Lorde is amazing. I think I just took like a tiny little glass salt shaker, and I think I even just took half of it because I felt bad taking the whole thing. So I think I just like took the lid, and I was just like, okay, this is all I need. Okay, I don't want to get fired. But yeah, she's awesome.
She seems like she would be a really good person.
Yeah, she's through and through, just amazing person. Yeah.
I'm sure you probably get this question a lot, but while you were working on the show, did they ever have any dangerous animals backstage, like tigers or bears?
I do get asked this question a lot recently. I
like how you added recently.
A lot recently. No, what is cool though, I had a stunt double, which she was probably dangerous, and that was really cool. She was badass. But yeah, no animals, surprisingly.
Do you ever use your stunt double to go in to take classes for you on a day you just don't feel like going to school?
It would work if the teacher was very far from me and moved her head real fast anytime she was in the classroom and like whipped past her. That would work because it's hard to find stunt doubles who are 6'1". So she was maybe 5'10", definitely a different body shape, but we both were wearing a pink dress.
You recently started a handcrafted soda company called Minnesota's Mini Sodas. What inspired you to do that?
I've always been discouraged by the size of sodas. I think, especially with the sugar intake, carbs. So I created that company in my closet. Yes. I have, I can't believe word got out. But, I think people should drink little things, especially mini things.
I do a little something on the show called Question from My Last Guest, where I have my last guest record a question for my next guest without them knowing who my next guest will be. The question can be funny or serious. Andy, are you ready for a question from my last guest?
Bring it on.
What was the last thing you put in your mouth?
Okay. The last thing I put in my mouth was crystallized honey. We had this jar of I guess honey lasts forever. This honey was 3 or 4 years old, and I took a risk and I ate some honey. It was pretty good. I think it really does last forever. So yeah, it's good.
Before you go, I have to say I loved your podcast, Stuffed Animal Party. Do you have any plans to bring that back?
Oh man, Stuffed Animal Party was so fun. I don't know if the episode is still up there, but I would give my guests the script and force them to read it, and then I interviewed them and made them look like idiots with the answers I gave them, which I guess is sort of like Between Two Ferns, because I think they tell them what to say, but I don't know. I wasn't quite as mean, but it was so fun, and I can't believe anyone listened to it besides me. But I definitely want to bring it back and try to pitch it to NBC.
No, I love it. It's still available if people want to check it out.
Oh,
yeah. How did you come up with that?
I don't even know. I think I was at Acme Comedy Club. You get regular time, and I always like to use my time to do something different. And there was one time where I was like, I don't know what to do. So I just quick wrote up a sketch and then brought my friend on stage and then just did it that way. And it was so fun to have a live audience while doing an interview where you write what they said. And it was so fun. And I just kind of just went from there. And it was a fun challenge. And I wrote them all that day. I just got to the club and just wrote it up. And I was like, it was, yeah, we did. We interviewed, was it Jesus? And then I interviewed an environmentalist, a rapper. Yeah, they're fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and you can really feel it when you're listening to the show. It really comes across great.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, thanks for being on today. Is there anything that you'd like to plug before you go?
Yes, my website, andyerikson.com. I also have a stand-up comedy journal that I created for aspiring stand-up comics with daily writing prompts and then like a free write. If you go to standupcomedyjournal.com, check it out. I've just revised it. I'm getting in a new shipment soon.
Awesome.
So
and I'll have links
cool.
to those in the show notes so you can go in there and check them out.
Thank you. And you probably get this a lot, but I will say this was the funnest interview I've ever done. These questions were great. Thank you.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that. Well, I'm going to take a quick break. And real quick, Andy, I noticed you followed me on Twitter. Did you mean to do that?
Yeah, absolutely. I try to look at everyone who follows me and try to figure out if I know the person. I was like, I know this person. So I followed you back.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, man. Thank you.
Well, I'm going to take a quick break and a quick screenshot of that notification of Andy following me on Twitter, and I'll be back.
All right, bye.
Hey, this is Kevin Allison of the Risk Podcast, and you're listening to We Don't Have Cookies.
Want to contact the show? Send an email to jason@wedon'thavecookies.com or call 929-266-9342 and leave a voicemail.
I am back, and joining me as always is the podcast's official weatherman and YouTube sensation, Frankie MacDonald. Frankie, what will the weather be like in the U.S. and Canada starting this Monday?
It's going to be a lot of rain all across the United States of Canada. It's going to be interior eastern United States. It's going to be a lot of snow in interior eastern United States and interior Canada. Then you got cold air going all the way down the southern states, and then we got more rain headed for eastern United States on Wednesday, possible. And Vancouver's going to get a lot of rain. Seattle's going to get a lot of rain. In the end of November to early December, it's going to be stormy to normal December all across the Pacific Northwest, including Vancouver, British Columbia, and California. It's going to be lots of rain. Los Angeles on Wednesday, and Moscow, Russia is going to get pretty cold weather. And there's a tropical storm headed towards Philippines on Monday.
Yeah, I was about to ask if there's any weather that international listeners need to be concerned about.
There's a typhoon headed for Philippines. It's going to be very powerful typhoon. It's going to bring damage and winds that can. It's a tropical storm. It's going to hit. It's going to do some damage to bring down power lines, temporary branches. There will be big waves crash on beaches and shores in northern Philippines. It's going to be really bad there. As for the climate change, Greta Thunberg is on the boat on the way back to New York, and they got a COP24 summit in Spain, Madrid, Spain, in December.
How can people in the Philippines or people who have been planning to move to the Philippines for the last year or two be prepared for the typhoon that's coming?
Yes, it's going to be really bad, and make sure to stay away from the beaches and don't go near shores. Leave the shores immediately.
All right, Frankie. Well, next week I will be having a special edition of the podcast for Thanksgiving here in America. I was wondering if you would be on and tell some jokes for us.
Yes, at Thanksgiving, that's not this Thursday, but next Thursday on the 28th, and Black Friday's on Friday, November 29th. All the people will be fighting over their stuff in the States. They'll be fighting over stuff in electronics and things like that, getting trampled over, getting killed and things like that. It's going to be ultra bad in the United States malls and Walmart and Target and things like that. And electronic stores like Best Buy in the States is going to be people getting trampled over on November 29th, 2019, and Cyber Monday. FedEx, UPS, and all those major companies, courier companies will be so busy, and the United States Postal Service will be so busy.
Yeah, that is very true, Frankie. We're going to have a lot to talk about next week.
Then they got November 3rd, 2019 presidential election. On November 3rd, 2020, that's the U.S. presidential election.
That will be a very interesting time, that is for sure. Is there anything that you'd like to promote before you go?
You can order my book on Amazon and Barnes & Noble in the United States. Be Prepared to Frank Down, Guide to Life, Weather, and everything. You can get a copy. You guys get a copy of my book, and everyone has to get a copy of my book on Amazon.com and Barnes & Noble website as well. If you want to order Frankie MacDonald action figures, go to Amazon.com and Amazon.ca. If you want to order my bobblehead, go Talking Frank Down bobblehead, go to Amazon.com as well.
All right, Frankie, well, it was great having you on this week. I look forward to having you back next week.
Best of luck to you. I'm Frankie MacDonald. You're listening to We Don't Have Cookies.
You can get all of Frankie's things on Amazon, and if you're going to buy them from there, please go to WeDon'tHaveCookies.com, scroll to the bottom of the homepage, and click on the Amazon link. It'll take you straight to Amazon. All of the prices will be the same, but I get a small cut of what you spend. I won't see your personal info or anything like that, and it would really help a lot. If you use it, please save it to your bookmarks so you can use it easier the next time. The holidays are here, and I know a lot of you will be shopping, so please help me out and use my Amazon affiliate link when you buy from there. Before I forget, listener John the Songman sent in a song for Andy Erikson. Here it is.
My name is Andy Erikson, and just so you know, I'm a big fan of a unicorn, and I always come in good handy to make sure I get my candy, because it's what makes me so great, because I always like to get my face on tape, just show the world that I am so damn great. And I hope someone gives me a free Thanksgiving cake.
John the Songman will be on the show next week along with Frankie MacDonald for the Thanksgiving episode. That's going to be a good time. You don't want to miss that one. More strange things have been happening around the house since the last episode. I woke up last Tuesday. It snowed overnight and the day before. I looked at my phone. I saw my kid had the day off school because of the snow. I go downstairs and I hear the TV playing in my wife's living room. I turned the corner to jokingly ask if she had a snow day too. When I did, the noise stopped and the TV wasn't on. Nobody was downstairs at all. She'd went to work and my kid was in her bedroom. So I go to the bathroom. While I'm standing in front of the toilet, the handle on the door starts shaking, and it was shaking hard enough to move the door back and forth too. Thankfully, I was already in front of the toilet, or I would have probably pissed myself. I really wish I would have thought to get my phone out and record the door doing that, but I was just so shocked that all I could do was watch. Then last Thursday, I was on my bedroom floor doing something near my nightstand. The lamp on the nightstand was on, then it turned off all by itself, which is odd because it has 3 different settings of brightness, and I had it on the second level. And it's a touch lamp, so you have to touch it to get it to adjust. And it goes from the dimmest to the brightest setting before turning off, but it turned off without going to the 3rd level or anybody touching it. Looking back on those things, maybe the light shorted out. Maybe I was just hearing things when I was going down the stairs, but the doorknob jiggling and the door moving, I can't explain that one. And it's been another strange week. Which brings us to this week's Strange Days. If you're listening to this on the day it comes out, Monday, November 18th, is Push Button Phone Day. Good luck with that. I don't remember the last time I've seen a push button phone, except maybe a payphone, but I don't know if those even are around anymore. Anyway, Tuesday is National Absurdity Day. You can celebrate that by going back and listening to the last month or 2 of this podcast. Links to the episodes in the show notes. Thursday is Use Less Stuff Day, so I will be celebrating that by eating and only playing a video game all day, which will help me use less stuff. Thursday is also World Hello Day, so introduce yourself to people by saying hello and let them know it's Use Less Stuff Day. Friday is Go for a Ride Day, which sounds fun, especially if you're a dog. It is also Buy Nothing Day, which is tough for people to do on a Friday, but it's easy for me because I'm a cheapskate. Saturday is Fibonacci Day. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right. I had no idea what that was. I looked it up, and it's some mathematician from the Middle Ages, so gross. Finally, Sunday is Celebrate Your Unique Talent Day, and if you do, email me a video or tag me in a tweet of you celebrating your unique talent. I want to thank my guest, Andy Erikson, for being on the show today. It was nice being able to talk to her. Thanks to John the Songman for sending in that song about her, and to the podcast official weatherman, Frankie MacDonald, for keeping everybody up to date on the weather. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the podcast and tell your friends about the show. That's it for me this week. I'll talk to you next Monday.
Thanks for listening. Tell your friends about the show and leave a review. See you next time.
I don't believe you.